The first place Bears do it again. We're reacting to Week 12 in the NFL today on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast.
You are Locked On NFL Scouting with the Draft Dudes, your daily podcast for NFL and college football scouting. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's better than this? It's guys being dudes here on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network. We're the Draft Dudes. I'm Joe Marino from Locked On Bills. He's Kyle Crabbs from Locked On Dolphins, and we are your NFL experts here with you daily to talk team building across the league on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast with the Draft Dudes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Want to issue a big thank you, shout out, and welcome to our everydayers. You know who you are. Those of you who never miss a single episode, we appreciate y'all being here very, very much. Today's episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 on lineups after you play your first $5 lineup.
Joe, happy Victory Monday to those who are celebrating, including the Chicago Bears.
Yes.
Who continue to defy logic and reason at times, but keep finding the ways to win the football games when it matters most. And I don't know how plugged in you were across all the games at the witching hour at the 1 o'clock slate, but what we had Chiefs, Colts going down to the wire simultaneously with Bears, Steelers going down to the wire with Lions, Giants going down to the wire. It was like a really entertaining block of games with Cincinnati trying to backdoor the Patriots, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there was a lot of chaos from like 3:30 to 4:10.
You're not wrong about that. Just like the Bears, man, they just keep stacking wins. They're 8-3, and credit to them, right? They keep finding a way. I think that's what good teams are supposed to do: find a way to win football games. Overcame some mistakes early on. Overcame a defensive special teams touchdown by the Steelers and win the game. And I think that's huge, right? It's huge for confidence. You think about just the path forward and knowing that they've been in a lot of these circumstances and came out on top, right? I think it's all meaningful. It's all good. So even if, like, from a process perspective, you're not like, yeah, that normally leads to wins and they've won like 8 or 9 or something like that. I think the fact that they continue to stack wins and find a way inspires belief, and confidence is a hell of a drug, right?
Yeah. And they put 31 points on Pittsburgh too, right? Like, we had our questions about what Pittsburgh was going to be with or without Aaron Rodgers. It's announced the morning of the game that he's not going to go. DK Metcalf gets banged up in this game. Pittsburgh still, thanks to the defensive touchdown, because J.J. Watt now is the second highest sack artist in his family. Because TJ got 115 and passed him, and it's a defensive touchdown. So they get a little juice in that regard, but 31 points for Chicago, man. Like, I don't know if it says more about Pittsburgh and where I think their defense is at, or if I think it says more about Chicago, because I think it like, I come away from this game feeling good about what Ben Johnson and their offense is doing and is capable of, and 4/5 of their offensive line and their ability to win the line of scrimmage up front. But then there's another part of me that looks at Pittsburgh and I'm like, okay, like that hot start was cute, but like, we're not in the playoffs at this point. And the defense, you're starting to get to the time of year where you look at the ages of some of the guys and you start to worry a little bit about, like, is this going to snowball on them even further?
Yeah, it's a huge point in the season for Steelers with the Ravens now leading that division. They got a huge one. They host the Bills next week, and that's your current 7 and 8 seeds in the AFC. So, for an offense that needs to get things figured out in Buffalo against the Steelers defense, it needs to get things figured out. I think you could have a huge game of playoff implications here in Week 13. But shout out the Bears, man. Keep stacking them. 8-3.
It's exactly what we thought it was going to be on Thursday, right? It's like when we did the pick 'em, and we were like, Chicago's just that team that's got it this year, right? And that they are finding a way to win all of these games.
No doubt.
And they did it again.
And how about their defensive injuries, right? Tremaine Edmonds goes on IR. They don't have either of their top two corners, right? When you think about it, Gordon and Johnson. I mean, with Deo's on injured reserve, the big pass.
Edmonds has been playing great this year, too.
Yeah, it's. I mean, overcoming it, right? Next man up, get it done. Nobody feels sorry for you, right? Nobody cares about your injuries. You don't get any extra points. You got to get it done. So it's very impressive.
We'll talk about one of these other 1 o'clock games. You want to do the Dallas Eagles game?
Yeah. Let's talk Dallas, Philadelphia. Big
game
comeback, right? 21 point.
It's 21-0. Yeah, this is the largest blown lead Philly's had in like 26 years.
Wow, boy, that's not a good one to do to Dallas, right? Dak pouring it on late. The Eagles offense, just can't get out of its own way at times, but obviously the huge forced fumble there late on the punt return. That's a good win for Dallas, who's now 5-5-1 and probably one of their better defensive performances in a while. I know that they played the Raiders last week, but got to feel pretty good about this one.
And it's funny, right? Because like this was the game for Philly that they actually get AJ Brown going.
Yeah.
And it's the game where they fall completely asleep after starting 21-0. And Saquon had another quiet game. They actually got after Philly's offensive line a little bit, with the some of the interior pressure that Dallas was able to generate. But were you aware of this Dak Prescott NFC East home game situation?
Oh, what is it?
With a win against the Eagles in Week 12, Dak Prescott improved his record at home against NFC East opponents to 22-2.
Wow, he doesn't lose at home against. Oh, that's good to know. That'll inform our pick decisions moving forward.
Prescott has won 19 consecutive home games against the NFC East.
What? Wait, what?
So remember, every 3 years he misses like half a season, right? With
it's helpful.
The ankle or whatever, and so 19 consecutive home games against the NFC East per Dallas Cowboys PR.
So after Dallas throws the interception, right? The one by Reed Blankenship at the 2. Or they're in 2 yards into the end zone. Eagles, they're up 21-0. They go punt.
Oh no. Yeah.
Punt. Miss field goal. Fumble. Punt.
Not great.
I mean, that offense just disappears like no other offense you've ever seen. The most capable offense, but also the most capable of disappearing offense that you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Even against a defense like Dallas.
So the end game sequence for Dallas too. What do you think of the decision to go for it on downs? After they recovered the fumbled punt and they're set up on a short field and they choose to go for it and they don't get it and they leave it tied, but then they force a punt because of how the defense was playing, and then they get down and they take the rest of the clock.
Bad process, good result.
There's been a lot of that. There's been a lot of that in these end game situations. Like Mike McDaniel last week with Washington did the same thing, and Dan Quinn did the same thing in like the final 6 minutes. And there was somebody else who chose not to take points. It was the Arizona-Jacksonville game.
Yes.
There's been a lot of that. So I just thought it was interesting that you get a continuation of that. And the good result continues to come.
Which is the opposite of what Shane Steichen did at the end of the Colts and Chiefs game, which we will talk about next.
Yeah.
Be sure to stick with us. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. The holiday season is one of the best times for sports. Bowl games, big basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It's all happening at once. And while we're making choices every day, one of the most fun places to make the right call is Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the easiest way to get in on daily fantasy. You just pick more or less on at least 2-player projections, lock in your lineup, and you're in the game. It's simple, it's fast, and it's available in 45 states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. I love how fast you can create a lineup. It takes less than a minute, and the app is super easy to navigate. It makes the the whole process very smooth and intuitive, and you can choose from a huge range of unique stats like fantasy score, field goals attempted, free throws made, turnovers, whatever you like to fit your strategy. And it's super convenient that the deposits and withdrawals are quick and easy, which keeps everything flowing. So download the Prize Picks app today and use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
Colts. Another little one that got away. Speaking of offenses that fell silent.
Yeah.
Indies against Kansas City down the stretch looked a lot like Phillies versus Dallas, in that nothing was done.
Especially you're gifted a touchdown. First of all, Latu, brother, we can't get tackled by Mahomes there, man. Not at the one. You can't do it. You know, like you're having a great year, but I'm going to remember you getting tackled by Patrick Mahomes. Now they score and all that. So that's great. But man, how many times do you have to see it? You cannot give Patrick Mahomes a chance at the end of the game. If you're the Colts, you can't punt on that. It was a 4th and 4. Just get it. Just get it and end the game. They just kept on punting the ball back to Mahomes and daring him to tie the game up. And it did. That's exactly what happened.
And they also did the thing that, like, notoriously, if you do this against the top-end quarterbacks, you're just playing with fire and waiting for it to happen, right? Settling for field goals. Right? They scored touchdowns on their first 2 possessions. They go the rest of the game and finish with 20 points. Why? Because we kicked the field goal, settled for a field goal, 4th and 4 from the Kansas City 14, while leading 14-9. Okay, you want to make it a 1-score game, I get it. And then Kansas City punts the ball back. You go Len plays 69 yards and kick another field goal, 4th and goal from the 5. So you had 2 inside the 15, 5 or less to goes, and you got 6 points out of it. And I get it. Like, you make it a 2-score game, and then Kansas City gets the ball back, and they fumble, right? You end up getting the ball, Kareem Hunt fumbles, and you recovered at the 6-yard line, and it's the start of the 4th quarter. You say, okay, now we're up 11 points into the 4th quarter. They just turned it over. We got possession. Great. But you go 3 plays minus 2 yards. You take 1 minute off the clock. They score a touchdown. You go 3 plays, 7 yards. They punt. You go 3 plays, 1 yard, punt it back. Then they go 15 plays, 87 yards, send it to overtime. Right? Like, the whole buildup, you were just waiting for it to combust, and it did. And it's the lesson that for a team like Indy, you get a shot at another one of these in the postseason.
Win the game.
I hope you handle it differently than what you did here, because this could have been a knockout blow for Kansas City. And all these cats they got from a skill player's perspective, we didn't have a single button we felt like we could push in the red zone to get a first down or to put it in the end zone on 4th and goal from the 5. Up 8 points. Come on now. Like, the opposite of the bad process, good results we were just talking about with some of the earlier games. I wish there would have been a little bit more bad process in this game.
I felt like Kansas City was in control the whole game, even though they didn't lead until the end, pretty much. Or
they did not lead until they took the lead in
the end. I mean, you see just some of the raw numbers: 33 first downs to 10, 494 total yards to 255.
I didn't know it was 10.
10, yeah,
10.
Kansas City went 1 of 6 in the red zone.
God.
I mean, they ran 41 more offensive plays. They ran 91 plays to the Colts 50. They possessed the ball for 20 minutes more. This was a game that the Chiefs were in control of. They just didn't finish drives.
Yeah,
it was inevitable. It was like inevitable that you weren't. I get it, Lou Anarumo, whatever. You trust your defense, but I don't know, man. Go get 4 yards and win a game. That's a big one, right? With kind of the AFC playoff picture as it is, right?
And this division's now breathing down Indy's neck, and they got to play 4 games against those 2 teams still behind in standings.
Yep, 100%. And Andy, I mean, you're in the 1 seed conversation. New England and Denver are ahead of you now. New England's 10-2, and Denver's what, 9-2?
9-2 with a bye this week. Yeah.
Yeah, and that wasn't one to take. That wasn't a loss to take. It's a conference loss. It's a loss. It's not good. That's one that's gonna potentially haunt them. And like you said, I mean, Jacksonville's 7-4.
You talk about that game now?
Yeah.
7-4, despite every effort from Trevor Lawrence to not be.
Yeah, until at the very end of the game. At the very end of the game,
he drives you nuts because he'll flip the switch and he'll hit 3 plays in a row. It's like, dude, that's the good stuff.
He did it, and they even overcome the Quentin Morris. He almost, that's a tough catch for Quentin Morris, but like you want to hit that throw. He gave him a shot. Like he made all the throws he needed to at the very end, but boy, he was just on the struggle bus before that.
And what was it? Was it an overtime or was it the end game sequence where we had the throw to Tim Patrick? That
Tim Patrick didn't know the ball was coming. Yeah, they overcame that and the Quentin Morris play.
Yeah.
You don't overcome those things and win, right?
Well, apparently you do. Because the Jags did. But it helps that you're playing an Arizona team that, I don't know, dude. I'm watching them line up, and I'm watching them play offense, and it's a lot of static formations. We're in empty. I know where Trey McBride's at on every play. There's no effort to move him around or get an opportunity to get open. And I'm just sitting here, and what? He still had 10 targets, 9 catches to 79 yards. Like, so he still had his raw production. But I'm sitting here watching how some of these teams, how the Rams are putting Puka Nacua in motion and then pulling him through the C gap on play action to run across her back the way that he came into the motion. And I just watched Trey McBride line up at number 3 in a 2-point stance every play. I was like, I don't know. It's not for me. And I know Jacoby Brissett has brought life to an offense that hasn't really had life. And this was a really aggressive blitz-style scheme that Jacksonville brought, and you give them credit for winning the game, and you give them credit for running the ball successfully again against a good front that Arizona does have. But I just kind of left this game for Arizona. There's a few teams, like watching Tennessee do a coverage check and roll Amani Hooker down the play, man-to-man coverage against Jackson Smith and Jigbutt, number 3, on a 69-yard touchdown pass. I could have looked at it and watched the safety roll down and say, boy, I hope they're rotating into some kind of exotic coverage check here, because if not,
it's gonna carry.
There should be alarm bells going off. And I watched some of that with Arizona's offense, and I'm like, could we put some wind? Like, I'm not super pro, like, you got to shift motion on every single play. But could we put some window dressing on some stuff? Could we try to manufacture some targets for our best guys instead of just go out there and cut it loose and throw the ball to Michael Wilson 15 times and throw it to Trey McBride 10 times and see what happens?
Brent Strange being back felt meaningful. I think Jacoby Myers has given that offense something, and I'll also shout out Parker Washington. Well, a guy just he's just making plays, dude. I like the build. I like the skill set. You know, there's some nice pieces there.
So Jacksonville wins
7-4. Yeah, they're the 6th seed now in the AFC,
despite 4 turnovers.
Yeah,
but Arizona goes 1 for 3 in the red zone. That's how you get there.
Their pass, they were affecting Jacoby Brissett the whole game. Brissett really had to tap into whatever physical ability he had to make some plays. And
this is, you win from Kyler Murray is kind of an eraser of your limitations from a pass protection standpoint, because realistically, Paris Johnson's an outstanding player, but you look at the depth chart from top to bottom, and would they give their offensive line this year?
Oh, nothing. They didn't give their offense anything. Yeah.
Right. So it's like, okay, like this force multiplier we were banking on Kyler having as his skill set is completely gone now. But on the other hand, Jacoby runs the offense. So I would like to see, like, if they move on from Kyler this offseason, and we're on the doorstep of doing a Levy Grail for Arizona, right? Because they have 8 losses. Some teams that are eligible that we'll be talking about this week. I wouldn't mind if their answer was, hey, if we find a quarterback we like that we want to draft, great, but you could also bring Jacoby back. Let's bring some offensive line in here to actually fortify the pass protection, level up the group around them, see what happens.
How about Dennis Gardeck in this game getting a chance to play against his former club? That guy's get a little something to him, man. Get a little something to him. He definitely played well.
Is he the next Michael Hoyt?
Michael who?
Your favorite player.
I know. Defense lost its identity when he went down, you know? We'll always remember that Chiefs game. He's fun. I'll say that. You can win with players like that, man. I think every team needs to have a guy like that for sure. He was there in Arizona 2018 through 2024, man. He's seen some things there.
Like a productive player too.
Yeah.
This is like never a player that really manufactured in a lot of national profile, but like he was productive for them for a long time.
Just play him, man. Just play him. All right. If we didn't talk about your game, we'll do it here next. And of course, we'll get into the Los Angeles Rams, who I think we would say is the best team in football. They proved that once again. We'll do it here next, folks. Be sure to stick with us. The NFL season is here, folks, and honestly, there's nothing better than being in the stadium surrounded by fans cheering on your team. But let's be honest, getting tickets can be a hassle. Between queues, login screens, and prices jumping at checkout, it's frustrating. But that's why I use Game Time, the app that gives the advantage back to fans. Game Time is fast, it's easy, and it's backed by the Game Time guarantee. You're always going to get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time and at the best price. Plus, all fees are included, so the price you see is the price you pay. The app makes it all simple. You can even see your exact view from your seat before purchasing, which is something I absolutely love. Simply put, it's faster, it's cheaper, and it's less stressful than any other way that you can purchase tickets. So download the Game Time app, create an account, and you use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time today.
You start with the Rams?
I mean, they're the best coach team, the best player development team. Matthew Stafford's the MVP. Their defense is unique and exotic. Their offense is unique and exotic. I mean, they're playing. They're good.
Problem, man.
They're good. Yeah,
and they now, because of the Eagles' loss, they have the get out of jail free card from blowing that game to Philly early in the season. You think about they have 2 losses. And they blew a 26-7 second half lead against the Eagles and still had a chance to kick the game-winning field goal. It was just blocked in return for a touchdown. And they completely fumbled that endgame sequence against the 49ers when they played on the Thursday night game earlier this season. Those are their 2 losses, and they very easily could have and arguably should have won both games.
Yeah, they tried to do it against Seattle last week as well, but these are like 3-score wins. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure they've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row. 5 of them by 2 scores. Most of those by 3.
They're scary operation right now.
Yeah, because they're talented and they're really well coached, right? Like you could schematically, they're really, really sound. And they're like, this is what you want to do. I was thinking this morning. You know, like we always talk about, you remember November, it's important. You want to start playing your best football, all that stuff. Like, who's doing that? It's the Rams, right? The Rams are the team right now that's playing their best football, peaking at the right time. Like, stay healthy and go do it, right? Yeah. Who else could you say is like, you feel like maybe they're crescendoing in all the right ways right now?
Houston?
Yeah, isn't that interesting though with their backup quarterback? Their defense is obviously, that's a good call. And I thought Stroud was starting to put it together there right before his injury.
I thought so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how quickly he assimilates back in, I think will be very interesting. And does he have rust from missing a month of time? I don't even know. You could say Baltimore, who's obviously won.
Yeah.
They've won 5 in a row.
They're not scary.
They've been playing with their food every single week.
Yeah.
You know, Lamar has the last 3 games gone under 200 passing yards, under 60% completion in all 3 games, and has 1 passing touchdown last.
Dude, he's not Lamar right now. You watch him play, like when he takes off. I've been watching Lamar for years. You know it, dude. You know when he takes off, he's pulling away from people. People are catching up to him. Like he's not right. He's obviously not right.
Yeah. So that's where because they're like their run game's not even. I mean, they went Derrick Henry 21 times for 64 yards.
Yeah, it's kind of been every game except for week 1 against the Bills.
They do not have a lot of explosiveness right now in any element of their offense. So they're playing. Their defense is exponentially better. It's playing very well, and they're playing kind of this boa constrictor, methodical 60 minutes. Oh, you made a mistake here. We're going to tighten on you a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll play it close to the vest. Oh, you made another mistake. It's going to get even tighter. That's how they're playing, and that's how they keep winning these games in the fashion that they do. So, like, you don't want to discredit them because they've won 5 in a row and they're back in first place in the AFC North. But I just look at the offense and I'm like, that is not the first 2 years of Todd Monken offense in any capacity right now.
And with respect to Denver and New England, who have won 8 and 9 games in a row, respectively, I give you credit for winning. I do. Are you peaking? You know what I mean? Like, I think there's a difference between what the Rams are doing and what I think Houston's a good call out compared to Denver and New England. Like, I'm very happy for you guys. Like, you guys have a very good thing going, but I think there's a different conversation.
They still have another month to peak.
Yeah, of course.
And they have more wiggle room than a team like Houston does because of their record.
Yeah. You worry about a team like Houston maybe running out of gas, but they got some young playmakers as well offensively that are starting to find their groove, especially Higgins, right? Been a lot bigger part of their offensive equation. Woody Marks also defensively, they're phenomenal.
Yeah. Any thoughts on Patriots Bengals?
Yeah, I mean the Patriots make the plays they need to at the end of games to win, right? And kind of left the door open a little bit. They close it out. They've had these moments, right, against Tampa, against Atlanta. They close it out and win, man. That's what good teams do.
Mm-hmm.
They've overcome like some mistakes, right? Drake May's kind of had like a bad turnover like every one of those games, and they're able to overcome it.
Can I ask you what you would do with Joe Burrow?
For my 3-8 football team?
Yeah, your 3-8 football team that's at Baltimore, at Buffalo, home against Baltimore, at Miami, Arizona, Cleveland to finish the season.
If he's not healthy, he's not playing.
Right, but we're at that point where he's practiced and was questionable, and they said, oh, it's 2 games in 5 days. We're not going to bring him back. Is there any chance? Do you think there's any chance this ends up being like Aaron Rodgers coming off the Achilles where they're like, never mind?
I think they should
or are they just going to play him?
Yeah, they needed to win. Like they needed to win a couple of these games here. Like losing to the Jets, heartbreaker to the Bears. This one, they needed to win like one of these games. They didn't do it.
They realistically could have had 3 of them.
Yeah,
they especially should have had the Jets and Bears games.
Right. They needed to win. Like they couldn't do it. Yeah. So yeah, Baltimore. What do you want to do? Be 3-11 but say that Joe Burrow played? God forbid he gets hurt.
I think the good news is you look at every game that they play until week 18 and you look at their pass rush situation and you say, I'm not super concerned about Baltimore, Buffalo, Miami, Arizona killing us rushing the passer.
No, none of those teams. Cleveland would be the problem. Miami might be the best pass rushing team out of those.
Out of the 5 before Cleveland?
The Bills hadn't sniffed a quarterback in 3 weeks, man. You think they're getting to Burrow? You kidding me?
Yeah, Baltimore had a hard time getting after Trod Taylor, too.
Yeah, these pass rushes are kind of what Draymond Jones did. What do you have, a sack and a half?
Yeah,
right?
He got one. Yep. And so he's got some
David Bryan. Boy, let's go get these guys.
Never wrong, just early.
Yes,
never wrong, just early. Okay, so we talked Ravens, Jets. We talked Bears, Lions. We talked Patriots, Bengals. Lions, Giants.
What a scary game for the Lions, obviously.
The 1-game fired coach bump.
For who?
Was it not the Giants?
No, Kafka. Well, that's not his first game, was it? Kafka
was it the week prior?
Yeah.
Well, they're going to go for another 1-game fired coach bump because they just fired Shane Bowen this morning.
Yeah.
So after a 5th double-digit blown lead in the the second half or fourth quarter.
There's a lot of really fun Jameis Winston moments that we're never going to care about because it came in a loss. But the double pass, the touchdown catch, those are some crazy moments. Crazy moments. But obviously, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, boy, that was a costly mistake there late. But they find a way. They needed that. That was a teetering game there for Detroit. Like if you're 6-5 and you take a loss to the Giants. You're
asking some hard questions.
You really are. But you win that game. Now you're like, okay, we're all right. Let's go.
Get back on the horse.
They're obviously vulnerable, though. The Lions are a vulnerable team.
They're another team that I think the pass rush, you have some concerns. Obviously, Hutch is Hutch, but I mean, how much they really get after Jameis in this game. I mean, Jameis had monster time to throw in this game.
Yeah.
He was over. I think it was like 3.1 seconds time to throw.
I was reminded of how herky-jerky his release was and how much it didn't matter.
So, yeah, Giants inspired effort. Go back. I'm doing some film stuff for A to Z this week and written stories about big plays in games. And I went back and watched the All-22, that overtime run for Gibbs. Watch how every player to the right of the left guard on that play doesn't just win their assignment, they dominate their assignment on that run. It's Tisla, it's Brock Wright, it's Amon-Ra St. Brown, it's Sewell up to the linebacker, it's Tate Ratledge and Graham Glasgow, combination Roy Robertson-Harris 4 yards downfield to pick off the Mike backer. They whitewashed their assignments on that play. And that's how you get Gibbs with outbreaking stride up into the third level of the safety 101.
Yeah, not something you want if you're a defense.
Packers, what do we say about Minnesota at this stage? I don't want to sit here and do the dump on JJ McCarthy thing every single week, but obviously it's a massive problem for them, and he's not playing anywhere near the standard of what's needed for them to be a functional offense right now.
You just got to let him play. He's just got to play. He's got to get reps. You don't have any time to hide anymore. He just has to play.
Speaking of just letting him play, I thought Cam Ward looked good against Seattle, cutting it loose. That was one of his best performances of the year, just by, hey, man, go out there, cut it loose.
Some big throws.
Yeah.
Yeah. Against that defense, I think that's pretty meaningful.
That's something to build on for a year that does not feel like it has a lot of somethings to build on for Cam Ward individual performances, just because of how poor the situation's been around.
Chimere DK, man. This guy's a big play waiting to happen.
Something to build on. Yeah.
Got
special teams. I mean, Ayumanor's been flashing too. I know he didn't play in this game, but I think that there's a lot of carrots I think that Tennessee can dangle for their coaching search to really appeal to coaches.
The Falcons and Saints played a game, by the way.
Oh, man, I really tried not to watch it.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I just saw that the score was 24-10, and I saw a highlight of a Kirk Cousins touchdown pass to David Sills. That's what I saw. It's his first career touchdown. I was like, legend. Holy smokes, David Sills is still getting paychecks in the NFL. Good for you, buddy.
And the Browns and Raiders played as well. That's our last game. Shadur Sanders, 11 of 20, 209, touchdown. Wasn't asked to do anything too crazy. Keep it between the lines. The defense got Chip Kelly fired this morning with how the Raiders played offensively.
Yeah.
We probably should have seen that. We picked the Raiders because, Raiders at home against Shadur at his first start. But we really should have, in hindsight, just picked Browns defense against Las Vegas's offense. And the Browns are probably going to win a few more games this season just like that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they're going to give him a chance. I think Shadur did a good job of not falling into some bad habits that would have cost him a game like that, right? Like you took one sack, you threw one pick, but for the most part, you mitigated
them life.
Yeah, and that's what he needed to do in a game like that. So, good, right? Take it.
We'll take it. We'll see what next week brings, and we will get you ready for next week on Thursday. We have takes on Friday. We also have a couple of Levy Grails. The optimist hat for teams whose season is, for all intents and purposes,
people are tagging us. They just put out a tweet about the Giants being eliminated. People are tagging us. Let's go.
It is our time. We hope to see you tomorrow. We'll do the Giants tomorrow. Hope to see you then.